नमः पार्वती पतये हर 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 महादेव शंभो। ओम नमः शिवाय, 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 ओम नमः शिवाय। नमः पार्वती पतये हर 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 महादेव शंभो। Praise the Lord Shiva. This beautiful Tuesday. Mangalvar. Mangal means auspiciousness. And give thanks to Bhagwan Shivji, blessing you with life and health, and seek his guidance. Om Vande Devam Umapatim Suragurum Vande Jagatkaranam Vande Pannagabhushanam Mrigadharam Vande Pashunam Patim Vande Surya Shashankavahanayanam Vande Mukunda Priyam Vande Bhakta Janashrayancha Varadam Vande Shivam Shankaram Shantam Paramasanastam Shashidharamukutam Panchavakram Trinetram Shulam Vajram Chagadgam Parushubhavayadam Dakshinange Mahantam Nagam Pasham Chagantadamaruk Sahitam Chakusham Bhamabhage Nana Lankara Yuktam Sphatikamananibham Parvatisham Namami Samba Sadashivaye Namaha Dhyanam Samarpayami Namahagum Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya. Panaji is going to give you these things. Show it slowly here. Om Nidhanapataye Namaha Nidhanapatant Kaya Namaha Urdhvaya Namaha Urdhvalingaya Namaha Hiranyaya Namaha Hiranyalingaya Namaha Divyaya Namaha Divyalingaya Namaha Shivaya Namaha Shivalingaya Namaha Sarvaya Namaha Sarvalingaya Namaha Om Bhavaya Namaha Bhavalingaya Namaha Atmaya Namaha Atmalingaya Namaha Divyaya Namaha Divyalingaya Namaha Etatsomasya suryasya sarvalinga sthapayati panimantram pavitram satyojatam prapadhyami sattayave namo namaha bhave bhave nati bhave bhavasyamam bhavodbhavaye namaha Vamadevaya namo Jeshthaya namo Shreshthaya namo Rudraya namaha Kalaya namaha Kalvikaranaya namaha Balvikaranaya namaha Balapramathanaya namaha Manonmanaya namaha Aghorebhyo Thagorebhyo Aghoraghortharebhyah Sarvebhyo Sarvasarvebhyo Namaste Astu Rupebhyam Tatpurushaya Vidmahe Mahadevaya धीमहि तन्नो रुद्र प्रचोदयात्। ईशान सर्वविद्यानां ईशान सर्वभूतानां ब्रह्माधिपते ब्रह्मणोऽधिपते ब्रह्मा शिवो मे अस्तु सदा शिवोम। ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम। Good. Let's go wash your hands and come back now. Everybody who are here, do Abhishekam. Om Shambhave Namaha. Ram Sada Shivaya Namaha. Om Sambhave Namaha. Sasisekaraye Namaha. Neelakanthaye Namaha. Umapataye Namaha. Om Shanchame Mayaschame Priyamchame Menukamaschame कामश्चमे सौमनश्चमे भद्रंचमे श्रेयश्चमे व्ययश्चमे यशश्चमे भगश्चमे द्रविणंचमे दन्ताचमे धर्ताचमे श्रेमश्चमे घृतिश्चमे विश्वंचमे महश्चमे संविच्चमे ज्ञात्रंचमे सूश्चमे प्रसूश्चमे क्षीरंचमे लयश्चमे ऋतंचमे अमृतंचमे यक्ष्मं च मे मेनामयच्च मे जीवातुश्च मे दीर्घायुत्वं च मे अमृतं च मे भयं च मे सुखं च मे शयनं च मे सुषा च मे सुधिनं च मे। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम नमो भगवते रुद्राय। नमस्ते रुद्रमन्यवतोतैषवे नमः। नमस्ते अस्तु धन्मने बाहुभ्यामुदते नमः। या तैषु शिवतमा शिवं बभूवते तनुः शिवा शरभ्या या तवतया नो रुद्रमदया या ते रुद्रशिवा तनूरघोरा पापकाशिनी तया नस्तनवा छन्दमया गिरिजन्दाभिषाकजैः यामीशं गिरिशन्तहस्तरविवर्षस्तवे शिवां गिरित्रत्वां कुरु माहि वंशीः पुरुषं जगता शिवेन वचसां त्वां गिरिशा चावधामसि यथा नः सर्वमेझ्यगयदक्ष्मगुं सुमना असता अत्यवोददिवक्तां प्रथमो दिव्यो बिजकः अहीगश्च सर्वां जम्बयन्तु सर्वास्याशुधान्यः असो यस्ताम्रो अर्णोतबब्लुः सुमङ्गलः ये चेमागुं रुद्राभितो दिक्षोषिताः सहस्रोषो वैशाखं हेदयीमहे असो सर्पति नीलग्रीवो विलोहितः उतैनं गोपादृशन्नुदहार्य उतैनं विश्वाभूतानि सदिष्टो मृदयातिना नमो अस्तु नीलग्रीवाय सहस्राक्षाय मेदुषे अथो ये अस्त सत्त्वानोऽहं तेभ्यो कर्णं मम प्रमुञ्च धन्मनुस्तभवयो रात्रियोजां याश्च ते हस्त इषवा पराता भगवो वपा अवतत्व धनुस्त्वागं सहस्राक्षाशिते निशिल्यशल्यानां मुखा शिवो न सुमना भव विज्जं धनु कपर्दिनो विशिल्यो वानभागं मुतः अनेशनस्येषवाभुरस्य निशङ्गिति या ते हेतिर्मे जुष्टं हस्ते बभूवते तनुः तयास्मान् विश्वतस्म मयक्ष्मया परिभुज नमस्ते अस्त्वायुधाय तताय विष्णवे उभाभ्यामुदते नमो बाहुभ्यां तव धन्मने परिते धन्मनो हेतुरस्मा वृणक्तु विश्वतः अथो य इषधिस्तवारु अस्मन्निदेहितं शम्भवे नमः। नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकालग्निकालाय कालग्निरुद्राय नीलगन्धाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः। ओम नमो हिरण्यवाहवे सेनाञ्जे दिशां जपतये नमो नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो पशूनां पतये नमो नमः सस्पिञ्चराय त्विषीमते पठीनां पतये नमो नमो बब्लुषाय निव्याधिनेनानां पतये नमो नमो हरिकेशायोपवीतिने पुष्टानां पतये नमो नमो भवेस्य हेते जगतां पतये नमो नमो रुद्राय तथा विने क्षेत्राणां पतये नमो नमः सूताय हन्त्याय वनानां पतये नमो नमो रोहिताय सपतये वृक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो मन्त्रिणे वाणिजाय कक्षानां पतये नमो नमो भुवन्तये वारिष्कृत्यायौषधीनां पतये नमो नमः उचैर्यघोषा कृन्धयते पत्तीनां पतये नमो नमः कृत्स्नवीताय धावते सत्त्वानां पतये नमः नमः सहमानानिव्याधिने आव्याधिनेनानां पतये नमो नमः कुकुभाय निषङ्गिने एस्तेनानां पतये नमो नमो निषङ्गिने इषुधिमते तस्कराणां पतये नमो नमो वञ्चते परिवञ्चते स्थायूनां पतये नमो नमो निचेरवे परिचरायाणां पतये नमो नमः सृकाविभ्यो जगासद्भ्यो पुष्टानां पतये नमो नमो अस्मिद्भ्यो नक्तञ्चर्भ्यस्तवो प्रकृन्तानां पतये नमो नमः उष्णीषिणे गिरिचराय कुलुञ्चानां पतये नमो नमः इषमद्भयो दन्वाविभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आतन्वानेभ्यः प्रतिधनानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आयश्चद्भ्यो वृषद्धभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो अस्भ्यो विद्यद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आसीनेभ्यः शयानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सभाभ्यः सभापतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो अश्वेभ्यो वश्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः नमः आव्याधिनेभ्यो विविध्यानिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः उगनाभ्यस्त्रिङ्घातिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गृत्सेभ्यो गृत्तपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो व्रातेभ्यो व्रातपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गणेभ्यो गणपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो विरूपेभ्यो विश्वरूपेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो महद्भ्यः शुल्लकेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रतेभ्यो रतपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रतेभ्यो रतपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो सेनाभ्यः सेनानिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः ऋतुभ्यः सङ्गृहीतभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो नमस्तक्षभ्यो ऋतकारिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो कुलालेभ्यः कर्मारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः पुञ्जिस्तेभ्यो निशानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः इषुकिद्भयो दन्वाकृद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमो मृगयुभ्यश्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः नमः अश्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः नमो भवाय च रुद्राय च नमः सर्वाय च पशुपतये च नमो नीलग्रीवाय च सिकन्ताय च नमः कपर्दिने च विप्तकेशाय च नमः सहस्राक्षाय शतधन्वने च नमो गिरीर्षाय च शिविष्टिचाय च नमो मीरुष्टाय च चेयुष्टाय च नमो हस्वाय च वामनाय च नमो बृहते च वर्षयते च नमो हृदाय च संवृधने च नमो उग्र्याय च प्रथमाय च नमो आशवे चाजीरचाय च नमः शीघ्राय च शीम्याय च नमो ऊर्म्याय च चावसन्याय च नमः सूतस्याय च दीप्ताय च नमो ज्येष्ठाय च कनिष्ठाय च नमः पूर्वजाय च परजाय च नमो मध्यमाय च कल्भ्याय च नमो गुण्याय च बुध्न्याय च नमो सौम्याय च प्रत्यर्याय च नमो याम्याय च शोभ्याय च नमः ऊर्म्याय च कल्याय च नमो श्लोकाय च वसन्याय च नमो वन्याय च कक्षाय च नमः श्रवाय च प्रतिशवनाय च नमः आशुषेनाय च रथाय च नमः शूराय च विन्भवे च नमो वर्मिने च विदूपिने च नमो बिल्विने च कविचिने च नमो श्रुताय च शुस्तेनाय च ननो नमो दुम्दुभ्याय च हन्यन्याय च नमो घृष्णवे च प्रमशाय च नमो दूताय च प्रहिताय च नमो निशिङ्गिने च शितिवे च नमो नस्तीक्ष्णवे च चायुधिने च नमः स्वायुधाय च सुधन्वने च नमः तृतीयाय च पत्याय च नमः कार्त्याय च तीप्त्याय च नमः सूध्याय च सरस्याय च नमो नाध्याय च वैशन्याय च नमः कूप्याय च चावत्याय च नमो वर्ष्याय च नमो मेध्याय च विद्युत्याय च नमो ईघ्रियाय च तप्याय च नमो वात्याय च राश्म्याय च नमो वात्स्याय च नमो सोमाय च रुद्राय च नमस्ताम्राय च चारुण्याय च नमः शङ्खाय च पशुपतये च नमः उग्न्याय च भीमाय च नमो ग्रवेधाय च दूरेवधाय च नमो अन्त्रे च हनीयसे च नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो नमस्ताराय च नमः शम्भवे च मयो भवे च नमः शंकराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च नमस्तीर्थाय च कूल्याय च नमः पार्याय च वार्याय च नमः प्रतर्णाय च चोतर्णाय च नमः आथार्याय च चालाध्याय च नमः शस्याय च वैन्याय च नमः चिकत्याय च प्रहायाय च नमः इन्याय च प्रमथनाय च नमः किगंशिलाय च शयनाय च नमः कपर्दिने च पुलस्तये च नमो गोष्ठाय च गुह्वाय च नमस्तल्याय च चोग्याय च नमः कात्याय च गर्भवेच्छाय च नमो हृदन्याय च विंशेचाय च नमः पागं साव्याय रजस्याय च नमः शुक्ष्याय च हस्तीर्षाय च नमो लोप्याय च चोलोप्याय च नमो लोप्याय च नमः उर्म्याय च सूर्म्याय च नमः पुण्याय च पुण्याय च नमो पगुर्मण्याय च विन्धिने च नमो आकिन्धिने च प्रकृतिने च नमो किरिकेभ्यो देवानागृहृदयो नमो विक्षेकेभ्यो नमो विचन्युक्सेभ्यो आतीर्थेभ्यो नमः आमीगतेभ्य द्रापे अन्तरस्पते ॐ शम्भवे नमः त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमेव वन्दना मृत्योर्मोक्षयमामृतातयो यो रुद्रो अग्नो यो अप्सो या औषधीशो यो रुद्रो विश्वा भुवना विवेशुषा तस्मै रुद्राय नमो अस्तु तमो इषूया शिवः सधनायो विश्वस्य शयति भेषस्य यक्षमामहे सोमनस्याय रुद्रं नमोर्भेदेवासुरं देवस्य अयं मे हस्तु भगवान् अयं मे भगवन्तर अयं मे विश्वभे जोजयाम् शिवाभिर्जशनायेते सहस्रमयुतं पाशा मृत्युर्मर्त्याय हन्तये तान् यज्ञस्य मायया सर्वानाय जामहे मृत्यवे स्वाहा मृत्यवे स्वाहा ॐ नमो भगवते रुद्राय विष्णवे मृत्योर्मे पाहि प्राणानां ग्रन्थरसे रुद्रो मा विशान्तकः तेनानेनाप्यायस्वः सदाशिवो ॐ शान्ति 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 हरिः ओम् नमः पार्वतीपतये हर 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 महादेव शंभो। Bring Kishore, bring the kalash there. No, just the kalash and the coconut there. Om Shambhave Namah. Om Namaste Astu Bhagavan Vishveshwaraya Mahadevaya Tvayambakaya Tripurantakaya Trikalagnikalaya Kalagnirudraya Neelakanthaya Mrityunjayaya Sarveshwaraya Sadashivaya Sriman Mahadevaya Namaha. Namah Parvati Pataye हर 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 महादेव शंभो। धान्यं धनं बहुपुत्र लाभं संवत्सरं दीर्घायुष्मान् दीर्घायुष्मती भवः। All right, let's go to Hanumanji. Om Hum Hanumate Namaha. बोले पवन सुत हनुमान की, सियाभज रामचंद्र की. Everybody can come here. Hanumanji puja. Nice puja. बोले पवन सुत हनुमान की। नमः पार्वती पतये। हर 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 महादेव। शंभो। ओम हम हनुमते नमः। प्रणवौ पवन कुमार खलपन पावक ज्ञान घन जासु हृदयागार बसहु राम सरचाप घन अतुलित बलधामं हेम शैलाबदेहं धनुजवन कृशानुं ज्ञानिनां मृगगण्यं सकलगुणनिधानं वानराणामधीशं रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि। गोष्पदीकृतवारिशं मशकीकृतराक्षसं रामायणं महामालं रत्नं वन्दे अनिलात्मजम्। अंजनानंदनं वीरं जानकीशोकनाशनं कपीशमक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लङ्काभयङ्करम्। उल्लङ्घसिन्धो सलिलं सलीलं यशोकवहनिर्जनकात्मजाया आदायते नैव ददाहि लङ्कां नमामि तं प्राञ्जनिराञ्जनेयम्। मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयोत्तमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये। आञ्जनेयमतिपातलाननं काञ्चनाद्रिगमनीयविग्रहं पारिजाततरमूलवासिनीं भावयामि पवमानन्दनं। यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमते राक्षसान्तकम्। श्री हनुमान स्वामिने नमः। ध्यानं समर्पयामि। नमः। हम हनुमते नमः। पाधयो पाधयामि नमः। ओम हम हनुमते नमः। पाध्यं यदुभ्यं नमः। श्रीहं हनुमते नमः। पाधयों कम कीशान समानता। ओम उष्णोरकं निर्मलं च touch his feet सर्वसौगंध संयुक्तं पार प्रक्षालनार्थाय दत्तं ते प्रति गृह्यतां पाद्यं समर्पयामि नमः। उष्णोरकं निर्मलं च सर्वसौगन्धसंयुक्तं पादप्रक्षालनार्थाय दत्तं ते प्रतिगृह्यतां पाद्यम् अर्घयमाचमनं समर्पयामि नमः। ओम हम हनुमते नमः। ॐ हम हनुमते नमः। श्री हनुमान स्वामिने नमः। ॐ सहस्रशीर्षा पुरुषः सहस्राक्षा सहस्रपात् स भूमिं विश्वतो वृत्वा अत्यतिष्ठ दशांगुलं पुरुषाय वेदगं यद्भूतं यच्च भव्यं हुतामि तत्त्वशेषाणः यदन्नेनातिरोहतिम् एतावानस्य महिमा अतो जायांश्च पूरुषः पादोऽस्य विश्वभूतानि त्रिपादस्यामृतं दिवि त्रिपादूर्ध्व उदयत्पूरुषः पादोऽस्येह भवत्पुनः ततो विश्वं व्यावक्रम शासनानशनेऽभि तस्माद्यज्ञात् सर्वभूतः संभृतं पृषदाजं पशूंस्तां चक्रे वायव्याना आरण्या ग्राम्याश्च ये तं यज्ञं बर्हिषि प्रोक्षन् पुरुषं जातमग्रताः तेन देवा अयाजन्त साध्यार्षयश्च ये। Om, hold it in your left hand. I say Hanumanji's name. Put it nicely in front of him. Om Ham Hanumate Namaha. Om Ramadutaye Namaha. Om Pavanaputraye Namaha. Om Bajrangbali Devaye Namaha. Om Bharatpriyaye Namaha. Om Mangalamurtaye Namaha. Ramadulariye Namaha. Om Shri Ham Hanumate Namaha. Dhupamagrapayami Namaha Gum. Dhupamagrapayami. Dhupamagrapayami Namaha Gum. Begi haro Hanuman Mahaprabhu. जो कछु संकट होए हमारो कौन सो संकट मोर गरीब को जो सुमिरे जो तुमसे नहीं जात है तारो। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करो महाराज। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करो महाराज। तन में तुम्हारे शक्ति विराजे मन भक्ति से भीना। तन में तुम्हारे शक्ति विराजे मन भक्ति से भीना। जो जन तुम्हारे शरण में आए जो जन तुम्हारे शरण में आए दुख दर्द हर लीना। हनुमत दुख दर्द हर लीना। महावीर प्रभु हम दुखियन को तुम्हर गरीब निवाज। हनुमत तुम्हारे गरीब निवाज। हनुमत जय जय जय। हनुमान गोसाई पुत्य पंडित जी पुत्य कृपा करो महाराज। ओम कदलीगर्भादितं भूतं कर्पूरां च प्रदीपितम् आरातिक्यमहं कुर्वे पश्य मे वरदो भवम्। इदागं हवि प्रजनन में अस्तु दशवीर्गणासस्तये। आत्मा सनि प्रजा सन्नि लोक सन्नि भय सनिम्। अग्निं बहुरामे पयोरेतु अस्मास्य धत्तात। ओम श्री हनुमते नमः। अंजनेयाय विद्महे वायुपुत्राय धीमहि तन्नो हनुमत् प्रचोदयात्। ओम हम हनुमते नमः इति पूजनं करिष्यामि नमः। ओम हं हनुमते श्रीरामदूताय नमः। ओम हम हनुमते एक दूसरा थाली प्रसाद दक्षिणा के लिए दो। श्रीरामदूताय नमः। ओम हम हनुमते श्रीरामदूताय नमः। ओम हम हनुमते श्रीरामदूताय नमः। बोले पांसुत हनुमान की जय। All right. So we gotta wait until the Shivji lingam is finished. In the meantime, I'll just go around now. Come with me. Om Bhavani Shankaro Vande. The kids can start getting set to sing. Kirtan, bhajan thing. Om Bhavani Shankaro Vande. Shraddha Vishwasya Rupinam. Yabhyam Vinana Pashyanti Siddha Swanta Stamishwaram. Bande Bodhamayam Nityam Guru Shankara Rupinam. Yamasito Hivakro Pi Chandra Sarvatya Bhandate. अन्नपूर्णे सदा पूर्णे शंकर प्राणवल्लभे ज्ञान वैराग सिद्ध्यार्थम भिक्षाम देहि च पार्वतीं। माता च पार्वती देवी पिता देवो महेश्वर। बांधव शिव भक्तस्य सर्वन भुवनेश्वर। बोले भवानी शंकर भगवान की जय। One flower there.
राम नाम तारकं सदा भजो रे। राम नाम तारकं सदा भजो रे। सदा भजो रे राम नाम तारिकं सदा भजो रे राम नाम तारिकं सदा भजो रे
दुर्गा माता की जय।
वीरा की तारी हर पल शिव का नाम पुकारे मैंने शिव से लगाई लगन मेरे मन वीरा की तारी हर पल शिव का नाम पुकारे मैंने शिव से लगाई लगन लगन मैंने शिव से लगाई लगन जप बोले का नाम प्रेम से सुबह हो शाम जप बोले का नाम प्रेम से सुबह हो शाम शिव के भक्ति में हो के मगन मेरे मन वीरा की तारी हर पल शिव का नाम पुकारी मैंने शिव से लगाई लगन लगन मैंने शिव से लगाई लगन तोरे जग के छूते बंधन शिव भक्ति में रंग के जीवन मन में शिव है शिव में है मन कर दिया शुद्ध को शिव को अर्पण शिव है मेरा धर्म शिव है मेरा करम शिव है मेरा धर्म शिव है मेरा करम साथी है ये धरती गगन मेरे मन वीरा की तारी हर पल शिव का नाम पुकारी मैंने शिव से लगाई लगन लगन मैंने शिव से लगाई लगन मैं सेवक हो मेरे स्वामी मेरे शिव है अंतर्यामी ये जीवन ये कंचन काया सब है मेरे शिव की माया शिव मेरे साथ है दिन है रात है शिव मेरे साथ है हर पल में शिव के भजन मेरे मन वीरा की तारी हर पल शिव का नाम पुकारे मैंने शिव से लगाई लगन लगन मैंने शिव से लगाई लगन जप बोले का नाम प्रेम से सुबह हो शाम जप बोले का नाम प्रेम से सुबह हो शाम शिव के भक्ति में हो के मगन मेरे मन वीरा की तारी हर पल शिव का नाम पुकारी मैंने शिव से लगाई लगन लगन मैंने शिव से लगाई लगन लगन मैंने शिव से लगाई लगन श्री राम Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram. निर्धन के धन राम हमारे, निर्धन के धन राम हमारे, निर्धन के धन राम हमारे, निर्धन के धन राम. श्री राम, श्री राम, श्री राम, श्री राम, श्री राम, जय राम, श्री राम, जय राम, श्री राम, श्री राम, श्री राम, जय राम, श्री राम, जय राम. सोवत जागत भूतत बैठत, सोवत जागत भूतत बैठत, जपो निरंतर नाम. निर्धन के धन राम हमारे, निर्धन के धन राम हमारे, निर्धन के धन राम हमारे, निर्धन के धन राम. श्री राम, श्री राम, श्री राम, श्री राम, श्री राम, जय राम, श्री राम, जय राम. दिन दिन होत सवाई दौलत, दिन दिन होत सवाई दौलत, कम न होए नाम. निर्धन के धन राम हमारे, निर्धन के धन राम हमारे, निर्धन के धन राम हमारे, निर्धन के धन राम. श्री राम, श्री राम, श्री राम, श्री राम, श्री राम, जय राम, श्री राम, जय राम, श्री राम, श्री राम, श्री राम, जय राम, श्री राम, जय राम. कहत कबीर से धन के आगे, कहत कबीर से धन के आगे, पान सुखों क्या का. निर्धन के धन राम हमारे, निर्धन के धन राम हमारे, निर्धन के धन राम हमारे, निर्धन के धन राम. श्री राम, श्री राम, श्री राम, श्री राम, श्री राम, जय राम, श्री राम, जय राम, श्री राम, श्री राम, श्री राम, श्री राम, श्री राम, जय राम, श्री राम, जय राम, श्री राम, श्री राम, श्री राम, जय राम,
से निराला, गौरीनाथ से निराला कोई और नहीं। भोलेनाथ से निराला, गौरीनाथ से निराला कोई और नहीं। ऐसा बैर बनाने वाला कोई और नहीं, ऐसा बैर बनाने वाला कोई और नहीं। भोलेनाथ से निराला, गौरीनाथ से निराला कोई और नहीं। उनका डमरू दम दम बोले, अगम निगम का वेद खोले। उनका डमरू दम दम बोले, अगम निगम का वेद खोले। ऐसा बातों का रखवाला कोई और नहीं, ऐसा बातों का रखवाला कोई और नहीं। भोलेनाथ से निराला, गौरीनाथ से निराला कोई और नहीं। काया जब जब करवट बदले, काप चमक के अगले पिछले। काया जब जब करवट बदले, काप चमक के अगले पिछले। ऐसा जोग जगाने वाला कोई और नहीं, ऐसा जोग जगाने वाला कोई और नहीं। भोलेनाथ से निराला, गौरीनाथ से निराला कोई और नहीं। ऐसा बगैर बनाने वाला कोई और नहीं, ऐसा बगैर बनाने वाला कोई और नहीं। भोलेनाथ से निराला, गौरीनाथ से निराला कोई और नहीं। भोलेनाथ से निराला, गौरीनाथ से निराला कोई और नहीं, कोई और नहीं, कोई और नहीं।
पार्वती पतये हर 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 महादेव शंभू। उमापति महादेव की, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। श्री गणेशाय नमः, श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः, श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। When I change my skill now. वक्रतुंड महाकाय, सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा। निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव, सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बिके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। तस्मै नमः परमकारणकारणाय दीप्तोज्ज्वलज्ज्वलपिङ्गललोचनाय नागेन्द्रहार कृतकुण्डलभूषणाय ब्रह्मेन्द्रविष्णुवरदाय नमः शिवाय। ॐ वंशी विभूषितकराणनवनीरदाभात् पीताम्बरादरुणबिम्बफलधरोष्ठात् पूर्णेन्दु सुन्दरमुखारविन्द्रनेत्र कृष्णात्पदं किमपि तत्त्वमहं न जाने। श्रीराम राम रघुनंदन राम राम, श्रीराम राम भरताग्रज राम राम, श्रीराम राम रनकर्कश राम राम, श्रीराम राम शरणं भव राम राम। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः, गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। बोले श्री गणपति भगवान की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, राधा कृष्ण भगवान की जय, सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। सब कोई जय जय सीताराम। ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय,
हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय, नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय, नमः शिवाय, ओम
नमः शिवाय, हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय, नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय,
हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय। योगेश्वरा शिव योगेश्वरा, हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय, योगेश्वरा शिव योगेश्वरा,
हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, हर हर भोले भोले नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम
नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय everybody please stand नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम
नमः शिवाय
हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले
नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय
हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम
नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय ओम
नमः शिवाय
हर हर भोले
नमः शिवाय
ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले
नमः शिवाय
रामेश्वरा शिव रामेश्वरा हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
रामेश्वरा शिव रामेश्वरा हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
हरे रामेश्वरा शिव रामेश्वरा हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
रामेश्वरा शिव रामेश्वरा हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम
नमः शिवाय
हर हर भोले
नमः शिवाय
ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय ओम
नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
ओ सोमेश्वरा शिव सोमेश्वरा हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय सोमेश्वरा शिव
सोमेश्वरा हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
सोमेश्वरा शिव सोमेश्वरा हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय सोमेश्वरा
शिव सोमेश्वरा हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले
नमः शिवाय
ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय आत्मा त्वं गिरिजामति सहचरा प्राणा शरीरं गृहं पूजाते विषयोपभोगर्चना निद्रा समाधिस्तति संचार प्रदयो प्रदक्षिण विधि स्तोत्राणि सर्वा गिरा यद्यत् कर्म करोमि तत्तदखिलं शम्भो तवाराधनम् करचरणकृतं वा कायजं कर्मजं वा श्रवणनयनजं वा मानसं वा पराधं विहितम् अविहितं वा सर्वमेतत्क्षमस्व जय जय करुणाब्धे श्री महादेव शम्भो जय जय करुणाब्धे मौलम श्री महादेव शंभो भोले महापति महादेव की जय कुछ फ्लावर्स नमः पार्वती पतये हर 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 महादेव शंभो ऑलराइट Please be seated, everybody. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Umapati Mahadeva ki jai. We're going to have about 2 to 3 bhajans, and then I'm going to go into my katha. So Vrinda, you and I can sing again. And Sati, the kids can sing.
दाता एक राय दाता एक राय दाता एक राय दाता एक राय भिखारी सारी दुनिया दाता एक राय भिखारी सारी दुनिया एक राम जारी सारी दुनिया पुजारी सारी दुनिया दाता एक राम द्वारे परम कृपा ने अपने भव से उबारता, इस दीननाथ पे, इस दीननाथ पे सारी दुनिया बलिहारी, सारी दुनिया दाता एक राम, भिखारी सारी दुनिया दाता एक राम। दो दिन का जीवन प्राणी कर ले विचार तू, कर ले विचार तू, प्यारे प्रभु को अपने मन में निहार तू, प्यारे प्रभु को अपने मन में निहार तू, मन में निहार तू, बिना हरि नाम के, बिना हरि नाम दुखियारी सारी दुनिया, दुखियारी सारी दुनिया दाता एक राम, भिखारी सारी दुनिया दाता एक राम, भिखारी सारी दुनिया राम एक देवता, पुजारी सारी दुनिया, पुजारी सारी दुनिया दाता एक राम, भिखारी सारी दुनिया दाता एक राम, भिखारी सारी दुनिया दाता एक राम।
मानस भज रे गुरु चरणम, दुस्तर भव सागर तरणम, मानस भज रे गुरु चरणम, दुस्तर भव सागर तरणम, गुरु महाराज गुरु जय जय, गुरु महाराज गुरु जय जय, स्वामीनाथ सतगुरु जय जय, स्वामीनाथ सतगुरु जय जय। ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, शिवाय नमः ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, शिवाय नमः ओम। अरुणाचल शिव, अरुणाचल शिव, अरुणाचल शिव, अरुणा शिव ओम। अरुणाचल शिव, अरुणाचल शिव, अरुणाचल शिव, अरुणा शिव ओम। ओंकारं भव, ओंकारं भव, ओंकारं भव, ओम नमो
बोले पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। I want to welcome everybody to our Tuesday evening satsang, and of course the sixth day of Shravan Mass at the temple. We got a long way more to go, so we want to get it right. And on Tuesdays, of course, we are engaged. Every Tuesday we're here chanting, praying, and do what we do. And we want to make sure we keep our community engaged. Today, let us start with what we start with every week, and that is the prayers to Hanumanji Maharaj. Boliye Pawan Sut Hanuman ki, Pawan Sut Hanuman ki, Pawan Sut Hanuman ki jai. Shri Guru Charan Saroj Raj निज मन मुकुर सुधार। बरनो रघुवर विमल जसु जो दायक फल चार। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मुहि हरहु कलेश विकार। राम जी से राम राम कहियो कहियो जी हनुमान जी। राम जी से राम राम कहियो कहियो जी हनुमान जी। ओ राम जी से राम राम कहियो कहियो जी हनुमान जी। राम जी से राम राम कहियो कहियो जी हनुमान जी। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर। राम दूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। ओ महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरन विराज सुवेशा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केशा। हर हाथ भद्र और ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मूज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। हे राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। राम जी से राम राम कहियो कहियो जी हनुमान जी। राम जी से राम राम कहियो कहियो जी हनुमान जी। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। ओ लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हर्ष उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिया भरत सम। सहस बदन तुम्हरो यश गावे अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। यम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा राम मिलाए राजपर दीन्हा। तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। युग सहस्र योजन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जान। प्रभु मुद्रिका मिल मुख माही जल दिलांगी गए रचनाई। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हारे देते। राम जी से राम राम कहियो कहियो जी हनुमान जी। है राम जी से राम राम कहियो कहियो जी हनुमान जी। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिन पैसारे, सब सुख रहे तुम्हारी शरणा।
तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना,
आपन तेज संहारो आपे, तीनों लोक हाकते कापे।
भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे,
महावीर जब नाम सुनावे, नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा। जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा, संकट से हनुमान छुड़ा। मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो, सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा। तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा, और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे।
जीवन फल पावे,
चारों युग परताप तुम्हारा है, पर सिद्धि जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे,
असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे।
अष्ट सिद्धि नवनिधि के दाता, असवर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हारे भजन राम को भावे, जन्म जन्म के
दुख बिसरावे।
अंत काल रघुवर पुर जाहि, जहाँ जन्म हरि
भक्त कहाई,
और देवता चित्त न डरहि। हनुमत से ही सर्व सुख करहि, संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा। जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीर, जय 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 हनुमान गुसाई। कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाथ, जो शत बार पाठ कर कोई। छूत ही बंदी महासुख होय, जो यह पर हनुमान चालीसा। होय सिद्धि साखी गौरी सत, तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा। की जय नाथ हृदय महदेरा, की जय नाथ हृदय महदेरा, की जय नाथ हृदय।
महादेवा।
पवन तनय संकट हरण, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय में बस हो सुरभूप सिया। भज रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। बोले बजरंगबली भगवान की जय। The power of Ramji Bhagwan's name, the strength of his name. This is Hanumanji. This is Mangala Murati Roop, the very living and walking form of devotion and auspiciousness. If we want to know what Satya looks like, as you know, as Hindus, we have a God for everything. If you want to know what the God of truth is, Satya Narayana, look at him. If you want to know the God of sweetness, look at Madhusudan Krishna. If you want to know the Lord of simplicity, look at Ramji Bhagwan. If you want to know the Lord of, the goddess of music, look at Saraswati. Every one of them. If we want to know a living, walking form of devotion, please look at Hanumanji, Mangal Murti Roop. When we chant his name, we say Bhakti Swarupaye Namaha. We glorify you, Hanumanji, who is the living, walking form of bhakti. To that Hanumanji we bow. But please know that he did not get the strength by himself. He does not have the genetics. He does not have a gym, yet he is very muscular. He does not have wings, but he flies. He does not have a visa, but he has access to every country in this world. How is this possible? Ram naam man deep dharo, जीहते हरिद्वार। तुलसी भीतर बाहर हूँ, जो चाहस उजियार। जो चाहस उजियार। राम नाम मन दीप धरो, because Ram's name is Mandeep, is a deep that is inside and outside. It is the name when you take the name of Ram, it lights you up inside and outside. Ram. There are certain names that you take, it just throws you off. But when you take the name of Sri Ram, Prabhu Ram, he lights you up. Ram Nam Manadeepa Dharu. If you would have light within and without, place the very luminous name of Ramji Bhagwan on your tongue. Like a jeweled lamp, tulasi bhitar baharahu, like a jeweled lamp on the threshold of the door, O Tulsidas ji is saying. Take his name. Put the name though on the tip of your tongue. Why? Because everything that comes out of your mouth passed through theirs, no? And so, Chahu jugatin kalti huloka Bhaye naam japi jeeva visoka Chahu jug teen kalti huloka Bhaye naam japi jeeva visoka Ved Puran Sant Matiye ho Sakal Sukrit Phal Ram Sane ho Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama ho Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama. In all four ages, Satyug, Treta and Dwapar, na? Chahu jugati na kalati loka bhaye naam japi jeeva visoka. In all three ages, all living and non-living thing, animate and inanimate, no, movable, immovable, life forms, creatures of all kinds, in all four age, they have been benefited, they have received life from the name of Ramji Bhagwan. In all four ages. And in this life, in this age that we are living in, called Dhyana Pratamu Juga Mukha Vidhi Duje, in this age of Kali Yuga, Ramji Bhagwan's name is the most appropriate to chant. Why is it appropriate to chant? Why is it the most, soothing, easiest thing to take? Because this is a dying age, and Ram's name is the light. This is the dark age which his name will only shine in your life. This is where Hanumanji gets his power from. This is where he gets his power from. There is a little story that tells us, when we talk about the creatures, Tihun jugati nikal tihun loka bhaye naam japi jeeva visosha. Everything living and non-living has gotten strength from Ramji's name. I've told you the story many times, but I'm sure you got things to think about. So you know how the monkeys and the bears went, right? And they wrote the name of Ramji Bhagwan on the stone, and they placed the stone, and all the stone floated. You know that story. That bridge is still there, Ram Setu. I went and saw it. I think many of you probably went as well. The bridge is still there. NASA has a photograph of it. There's no doubts about that. But the bears and monkeys wrote the name of Ram on the rocks, and the rocks were able to be stabled. They stabilized. So one day, Ramji Bhagwan, anybody remember the story? If you remember the story, put on your hand. Nobody remembers the story? You remember the story? Good. One day Ram Bhagwan wanted to know if, is this true what these bears and monkeys, they are bears and monkeys, all they can make is sound and things like that. How is this possible? So he looked around quickly and he says, all right, I'm going to experiment now. So he took a rock and he wrote his name on the rock. And he made sure he looked around. Nobody was there. Throw it in the water. Pluchunk. Rock went into the water. He says, what? Look at this. They wrote my name on big rocks. The rocks were floating. I wrote my name. He took another rock. He wrote his name. Wrote it, same thing. Rock went down. He took many. Ramji Bhagwan got fed up now because his experiment is not working. So when he looked back, he see Hanumanji. Hanumanji said, Jai Sri Ram. Ramji Bhagwan, Are Hanuman? How long you been there? Hanumanji Maharaj says, Prabhu, long enough. Long enough to see what you're doing. So Ramji Bhagwan ne kaha tha, acha, ye kuch nahi hai. So what did you see, Hanumanji? Hanumanji ne kaha tha ki maine sab dekha. I saw everything, Prabhu. You think that when a devotee writes the name of Ram on a rock and puts it afloat. You want to do the same. You think we're tricking you. Prabhu Ram says, nahi, ye baat nahi hai. It's not the matter. So Hanumanji Maharaj said, let me give you a little shiksha today, Prabhu. Let me teach you a little bit. That your name is very powerful. Your name itself is very powerful. But if you don't have faith in that name, then the name becomes powerless. If you don't have faith in that name, the name becomes powerless. So Ramji Bhagwan says, what? But I have faith in my name. No, sir, no. You don't have faith in your name. Your devotees have the greatest faith in your name. Right? You, all of you sitting here today, you think you may have faith in yourself and your abilities and so on and so forth. But you don't know how much faith your children have in you. They have so much faith in us that we don't even know. They know that no matter if it rains or shines, my dad and my mom are going to wake up and go to work to deliver. They're going to go to make our day a better one, because if they don't go, our lives will suffer. They have faith, and that faith sometimes drives us. We don't have faith in ourselves, but, other people have faith in us. Other people have faith in us. So guess what? Do it. Have faith in the name of the Lord. There is a little saying that tells us about the devotee. The devotee has a different relationship with the Lord. They say that when a devotee calls upon the Lord, that voice travels to the ears of the Lord right away. The speed of sound is fast. The speed of sound is fast. You'll probably hear afterward. But faster than the speed of sound is the speed of light. Faster than the speed of light is the speed of the mind. Right? And faster than the speed of the mind is the prayer of the devotee. Is the prayer of the devotee. Faster than everything else is the prayer of the devotee. When the devotee calls, but you have to call with faith. And when you do that, Hanumanji Maharaj tells us, Ram Kahu, Dashrath's prayer in the Ramayana. As Dashrath was dying in the Ramayana, Ram Kahu Ram, he chanted the name of Ram 6 times. And those 6 times that he chanted the name of Ram destroyed Kama, Krodha, Madha, Lobha, Moha, Mats, lost anger, greed, jealousy, false pride, hatred from his life. He left and he went to Surdham, to the heavens. This is the power of the name of Ramji Bhagwan. So every Tuesday, what do we sing as well? We sing the praise of the Lord that give Hanumanji so much strength. Shri Ramchandra Kripalu Bhaj Man Haran Bhav Bhai Darunam Nav Kanj Lochan Kanj Mukh Kar Kanj Pad Kanjarunam Shri Ram Shri Ram Shri Ram Shri Ram Kandarp Aganit Amit Chhavi Navneer Neeraj Sundaram Pat Pit Manahu Tarit Ruchi Suchi Nomi Janaka Sutavaram Shri Ram Shri Ram Shri Ram Shri Ram Bhaju Deen Bandhu Dinesh Danav Daityavan Shani Kandanam Raghunandayanand Khand Koshal Chandra Dashrath Nandanam Shri Ram Shri Ram Shri Ram Shri Ram Sir
भूषणम् आजानुभुज सर चाप धर संग्राम जित कर दूषणम्
श्री राम श्री राम श्री राम श्री राम
इति वदति तुलसीदास शंकर शेष मुनि मनरंजनम् मम हृदय गंज निवास दुर्गामालि दल दल गंजनम्
श्री राम
श्री राम श्री राम श्री राम
श्री राम श्री राम श्री राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम
ओ श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम
बोलो जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
जय राम श्री राम
जय जय राम
ओ जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम
जय जय राम
जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम
जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
जय राम श्री राम
जय जय राम
ओ जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम बोले सियापति रामचंद्र भगवान की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय बजरंगबली भगवान की जय. Another short episode before we go into Shiv's Katha is Hanumanji always showed so much faith in Ramji Bhagwan's name. There was no plan B for him, there was no ifs or buts, there was only Ramji's name. Hanumanji, second thing about him, he was always a very positive person. Extremely positive. How do we know that? One day, Bhagwan Ram saw the moon, Chandrama. We just had full moon last week. So Bhagwan Ram saw the moon, and you know when you look at the moon is round on a full moon night. But when you look inside of the moon, there was always, different, not different colors. There is the big white moon, but there is, some colors inside, a little dark sometimes, and different shapes and all this kind of thing. So Bhagwan Ram one day sat by the riverside, and he asked all the bears and the monkeys who were there, because, the Lord is going to put them all to a test. He says, Jamavant, tell me, what is up there? You see the moon, it looks a little deformed. What do you see happening there? Jamavant looks, he says, Prabhu, I think the moon was having a fight with someone, and someone just gave him a cough, a punch, and he probably is wounded. Ram Bhagwan says, okay, thank you. Ram Bhagwan says, Sugriv, what is in the moon? Sugriv says, Prabhu, I don't know, but I think it's mountains. Right? He said, okay, fine. Another one, he asked another one, Nalanil, who is in the moon? What do you think that is? They look at it, they say, Prabhu, I think Ganeshji took his tusk and he hit the moon and the moon cracked. And that's where you see all these things inside. Okay, good. None of them don't know, They all are guessing their way out. Now, when you don't know something, sometimes the answer, do you know? And then when you hear the answer, may not know, but me think, when you see that come up, you got to run for your life. May not know, but me think, or may not know, but me suspect. By the time they said, then I know, that's when the cutoff is. You don't know. Right? Either you know or you don't know. It is that simple. You know or you don't know. So yes, Hanumanji come. Hanumanji is in the corner. He said, come Hanumanji. And this thing is written in our mind. Hanumanji, what do you think is in the moon there? Hanumanji, Kaha Hanumant Sunu Prabhu. Kaha Hanumant Sunu Prabhu. Listen, Prabhu Ram. Sasi tumhare priyadas. The moon, my Lord, is your servant. Sasi tumhare priyadas. Tab murati bidhu ur basatihi. And because he's your servant, when you look into the moon, my Lord, I see a murti of you, my Lord. I see a murti of you. Soisya mata amas. Because the moon god has taken you, Ram, and he has placed him in his heart. And Prabhu, when I look, that is all I see. Always very positive and always very dedicated to his Lord Sri Ram. And sometimes when people ask you questions, children always know this. When people, when mommy and daddy ask you questions, it's not like they don't know the answer. You understand? It's like they know the answer already, but they want to know if you're telling the truth. That's not only for the children, it's for everybody else. When a husband come home or something and the wife says, where you been so long? It's not like they don't know where you've been. They know exactly where you've been, but they want to know if you're going to tell them the truth. That's what it is. And so, my friends, the beauty of Hanumanji's love for Ram Bhagwan is extolled in our scriptures. Today we are here on this beautiful Tuesday to reflect upon that. Our darshan this evening is banana. This is so simple, When you look up on the head, does it look beautiful to you? Anybody? But all this is banana and flowers. That's it. Banana and flowers. You can take so simple things and you can add beauty. And that is the beauty of Shiva. He's so simple. He is like a Christmas tree you pick up from the market. Right? With nothing on it. When you have nothing on it, it's so simple. If you put 2 stars on it, it looks so beautiful. And you can put 100 on it and it doesn't matter because he has nothing in the first place. But if he had come already with a lot of bling and so on, what could we have put on him? That is the beauty of simplicity, Mahadev Bhagwan. And Rambha Palapanakam, we've dressed him up with banana today, one of the favorite things of Shiva as well. Today we will continue the katha we left off on Sunday night. Where did we leave off on Sunday night? When Sati Devi, Lord Shiva's consort, so the Lord was married twice, you know that. But it's because his first wife died and, he didn't have to, but there's a reason why he was married to Parvati afterwards. So Sati Devi, the first wife, first consort of the Lord, saw Ram Bhagwan and saw that Shivji bowed to him. Shivji Bhagwan explained to her that this here is the Lord. She was not satisfied. She had a doubt in her mind, and we elaborated on this so much. When there is a doubt in your mind, what will happen? You will want to do everything to fulfill that doubt, to quench the thirst of that doubt. You want to do everything to put it out of your mind. Sometimes you spend your whole life running after doubts, and you forget about living your life, right? The doubt went into her mind, and then she went into Ram. She disguised herself as Sita. Ramji Bhagwan says, Ma Sati, why are you walking alone? She, of course, was so embarrassed. She went back to Shivji. And while this happened, my friends, she fell into sorrows. She fell into sorrow because, she was embarrassed. The Lord treated her so well. The Lord did not add salt to a wound. The Lord did not say, you see, I told you not to do that, and you still went and do that. Pay for your lesson. No. That will just open the wound more. It will just add salt on the wound. It is not something good to know. And what happened, my friends? Shiv Bhagwan just let her be. Shiv Bhagwan bowed his head at the feet of Ram Bhagwan. And Sati Devi, she started now to let the burden of fresh sorrows, we talked about this, Nita Nava Soch Sati Udbhara Kabajaho Dukasagar Para. Sati Devi, a fresh sorrows came in her mind every day, and she started to think about, I should have listened to Shiva and the whole works. This thing called should have is a very, very dangerous thing to say and to live on in life. I should have. In our tradition, our people sometimes, we suffer our imagination. We suffer our imagination. Could you imagine what would have happened if this? No. I don't want to imagine that because it didn't happen. Could you imagine what would have happened if 2 seconds more I was there like carrying? But don't imagine it. It didn't happen. Could you imagine if I had taken a flight, look up? No, don't imagine it. You don't imagine it because what happened? The minute you imagine something dangerous, what's going to happen? You're going to just add on imagination and somebody could call it truth. If you've been dead, if it didn't happen, it didn't happen. If it happened, it happened. You move on in life with a positive direction. What happened? And so Sati Devi started to ponder now in her life what had happened and all that. And so she sat beside Shivji, but Shivji began to repeat Ram's name. Ram Naam Siva Sumirat Lage, Jano Sati Jagpati Jage. Jaye Shambhu Pad Bandanu Kinha, Sanmukh Sankar Asanudinha. Shivji Bhagwan, he began to repeat the name of Ram because this is the respect he had for him. Sati perceived, of course, that the Lord is now awake after his meditation. And then what happened? Jayi Sampad Bandanu Kinha Sanmukh Sankar Asana Dinha. She came and she sat by her Lord. By the side of her Lord she sat. Bhagwati Devi Sati. And Shivji Bhagwan gave her a seat as well in his presence. The Lord was a gentleman. Bhagwan Shivji. Lage kahan hari katha rasala daksha prajes bhaye tehi kala. And then Ram Bhagwan's katha was read. Shivji Bhagwan is the narrator of Ram Bhagwan's katha, by the way. He's the narrator. There was Yajnavalkya to Bhardwaj, Kagbasund to Garud, Shivji to Parvati. That is how the order it went, right? Shivji Bhagwan narrated the katha of Ram to her. She was very, very happy. And then, as they were talking now, Sati has not learned her lesson. What will happen? Dekha vidhi vichar sab layak, daksha hi kinha prajapati nayak. Bar adhikar daksh jab pava, ati abhimanu hriday tab ava. Nahi koi as janma jag mahi, prabhuta pahi jahi bhar nahi. Kinnar nag sindh gandharva, badhun samet chale sur sarva. Vishnu viranchi mahesu bihai, chale sakal surjan banai. Sati viloki vyom vimana, jate chale sundar vidhinanam. Sur sundari karhi kalgana, sunat Shravan chutahi muni dhyanam. Puche hu tab Siv kahe bakhani, pita yagya suni kachu harishani. Jo महेश मोहि आयसु देहि कछु दिन जाहि रहो भिसरे पति परित्याग हृदय सुख भारी कहे न निज अपराध विचारी श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम ओ श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम. As Shivji Bhagavan was narrating Ramji Katha, no, there was a lot of aerial carts passing. And you know Sati's mind, Lord is narrating Ram. And then Sati opened her eyes and she see all these aerial carts are passing. All these celestial Gandharvas, all the musicians, all the priests, everyone were passing. And at the time, of course, she wondered what is happening. At that time, what had happened? Precisely at that time, Bhagwan Brahma had made the father of Devi Sati Prajapati. He became Prajapati. Question here, what is the name of Sati's father? What is the name of Sati's father? Who? Daksha. Good. Daksha is the name of Sati's father. So, what happens? Daksha was, I won't say he's a bad man because that makes me judgmental, but you understand why I don't want to call him a bad man. So he got the name Prajapati. Prajapati means the leader among the created beings. And when he became the leader among all the created beings, what happened to him? Tulsidas ji made a comment here. Daksh liye muni bol sab karan lage bar jag nevati sadar sakal sur jo pavat mak bhag. Daksha got together all the saints and sages and he began to make a preparation to celebrate this coronation of him, this position of him. Bare adhikar daksh jab pava ati abhimanu hriday tab ava. Nahi koi as janma jagmahi prabhuta pahi jag mahinahi. जब दक्ष ने इतना बड़ा अधिकार पाया तब उन्हों हृदय में अत्यंत अभिमान छा गया. जगत में ऐसा कोई नहीं है उत्पन्न हुआ जैसे प्रभुता पाकर मद ना हुआ हो. There's a very important verse here. You know the Ramayana is saying here that when Daksha attained this office of being the leader among all the people, he became exceedingly arrogant. He became so arrogant, and Tulsidas ji says that nahi koi as janma jagabahi. Never ever in this planet, on this planet, has there been ever a creature that was born in the world who did not get intoxicated. Never ever has there been a creature born on this planet who has never been intoxicated. Now you're asking yourself, Paranji, what does that mean? What does intoxicate mean? Do you mean you've been intoxicated? No. Intoxicate means you're drunk with different things. In this case, her father, Sati Devi's father, was drunk with power. Power, arrogance. There are two things that is very difficult for a person to give up. Power, cannot give up power. Very, very difficult. If somebody does it, they got to be a sage. Power, position. Now, sometimes they come in hand. Difficult for someone to step down from their pedestal and give others another chance. I think rightfully other people should work for it too, but but this is just what it is. Power and position, very, very hard to give up. So Daksha now became so arrogant. Now what had happened? One day in the court of Daksha had assembled all the saints and sages and the gods, including Shivji. All of them were talking, talking. When Shivji heard everybody talking, he said, everybody's talking already, what am I going to do? So he went into deep meditation, he closed his eyes, and he's thinking of Ram. Daksha came in, and everybody stand up, stand up. And everybody stand up and bow to him, including Brahma, including Vishnu. But Shivji Bhagwan did not stand up. So what happens? Shiva is a whole different beast by himself. Daksha goes to Shiva and says, hey, you're full of arrogance. His voice was so deep. Shivji Bhagwan opened his eyes and said, oh, Daksha, how are you? And Daksha said, you did not get up when I arrived. The Lord says, I didn't get up. I didn't know you were here because I was in meditation. He says, no, you are arrogant. One of the things that we do sometimes is we tell someone to calm down, but we are telling them with a very uncalming voice. You're telling somebody they're angry, but you're angry more than them. You're telling one, stop being angry, but your tone is like a fire. What are they going to do? An arrogant man, Daksha, is telling Shiva that he is arrogant. Right? Takes one to know another, they say, but I don't know. So since then, Daksha had a chip on his shoulder for Shiva. Come back to the present situation. Sati saw all the celestial musicians, priests, and everybody going, and she wondered, what is this? Well, what it was, Daksha liye muni boli sab karan lage bare jag. Daksha had arranged a big sacrifice. Who was going to the sacrifice? Kinnar nag sindh gandharva bandhu samet chale sur sarva Vishnu viranchi mahesh vivahi chale sakul surjan banai. Who was going? Vishnu viranchi. Vishnu, Bhagwan Vishnu. Who is Viranchi? Brahma. Brahma was invited to the yajna. Vishnu Bhagwan was invited to the yajna. Chale sakal surjan banai. The suras were invited there. All the devatas were invited to the yajna. Who was invited to the yajna? Kinnar Nag. Kinnar Nag. The serpents were invited to the yajna. Who was invited? The Gandharvas were invited to the yajna. The singers. Who was invited to the yajna? And all the demigods were invited to the yajna. The snakes were invited to the yajna. But Lord Shivji and Sati were not invited to the yajna. You really got to ask yourself a question. If a snake get an invitation for going on yajna and you didn't get an invitation for going, something wrong. Something really wrong. If a snake got an invitation and you didn't get it, then you is way below the snake kingdom, man. Sati saw all of this, and Sati said, oh, Sati viloki vyoma vimana jata chale sundar vidinana. Sati saw all the beautiful air carts, various patterns they were passing through the skies. All the songs were melodiously being sung. The ascetics were in meditation. When she questioned Shiva, Are Mahadev, Swami, ye sab kya hai? Ye sab kya ho raha hai? What is the world celebrating? And Prabhu, why are we not part of the celebration? Why are we not part of the celebration? Shivji Bhagwan explained the whole stir, the whole, jagra, the whole fight, the whole situation to Sati Devi. And she was somewhat gladdened that the yajna was happened, but she was not happy that she was not going. Jo mahes mohi aya sudehi. And she said, although Shivji Bhagwan told her about the dangers of going without an invitation. All of you know, in our tradition, Matri Devo Bhava, Pito Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. And what is the fourth one? Who do you treat like God? Matri Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. Your mother, your father, your guru, and who else? Atithi Devo Bhava. Atithi means uninvited guests. Uninvited guests. Somebody show up at your door, uninvited. You're supposed to treat them like guests, but I think we just put on the camera and see who it is. And if you don't desire to see them, you don't answer the door, right? Because you have to be safe. You don't know, you don't bring strangers into your home. This atithi business is a whole different thing. But if someone you know, like Pandhara, show up at your door uninvited, I'm sure that wouldn't be a pleasant situation from anybody, but, we tend to notify people when we're going. But uninvited, and you know the people, then that's supposed to be a pleasant situation. But then again, Shivji Bhagwan tells Mother Sati, Pati parityag hriday sukha bhari kahe nanija aparad vichari, that Sati, it is not nice to show up at somebody's door unannounced. It's a catchy situation here. It's not nice to show up at somebody's door unannounced, but if you show up uninvited, you're atithi, means you're the highest guest there, uninvited. Anyways, she heard of the challenges that happened, but she still insisted, Bhagwan Bholenath, can I go? Can I go? Can I go? Can I go? And many people will ask, women will ask, so why does Sati need the permission of Shiva to go to her father's home? Women's rights, we go into that fashion now. Well, it is not that she needed Shivji's permission to go, but in marriage, when the husband and when the people are getting married, the Panditji reads, Tirtha vrato dhyapana yagyadanam mayas sahyatvam adikura yeta advamanga mayam ipidati kulyam jagat kanya vachanam dvitiyam. By the way, Kishar and Samantha, they got married 1 year ago. Please give them a big hand. I think Sunday, you said, was the anniversary. I should have known that because I did your wedding. So they are giving thanks and praise to Bhagwan. They are 1 year young into their marriage. And it's our prayer today that Hanumanji Bhagwan and Bhagwan Bholenath bless them with many, many more lifetime of happiness and bliss. People who are married, everybody should be prayerful, but especially who just got married. You have to take steps to be close to God, to please the Lord, to please yourself, and to give thanks in many ways. I happen to know the family, and I did the wedding, and they are our Tuesday evening devotees. Sometimes there's nobody here, but the two of them are here, and I'm speaking to the two of them. That's most Tuesdays here, and everybody's online across the street and so watching online. So I want to wish them both well, and ask Bhagwan Bholenath's blessings to them as they begin their life together. May they achieve so much more with their blessings of the parents and their elders as well. Happy anniversary to you both, and congratulations again. When we got married, the Panditji says, accept this vow. What is the vows? That you must not go somewhere unless you have the consent of your partner. You shouldn't. Now, if I ask my wife, I'm not asking her, I'm consulting with her that, we need to go here, and, we want to, what's the situation? Technically, anybody can pick up the car and go anywhere they want. You don't need permission. But it makes your marriage more harmonious. It makes your life in more harmony when everybody is on the same page. Right? Now, if Sati pick up herself and gone, Shivji got left alone at home day, whatever. So she coaxed the Lord. She said, Lord, listen, there's great rejoicing. Pita bhavan utsav param jo prabhu ayas hoy, to me javu kripa yatan sadar dekan soy. There's great rejoicing at my father's house. If my Lord be gracious, please allow me to go. I will duteously go and see what the celebration is. Shivji Bhagwan, my friends, is cautious. If this Lord Shiva's snake was invited to go, but you're not invited to go, is a problem. Sati does not realize this. शिव जी ने कहा कि कहे हो नीक भोरे हो मन भावा, यह अनुचित नहीं नेवत पथा। दक्ष सकल निज सुता बुलाई, हमरे बयर तुम हो बिसराई। ब्रह्म सभा हम सन दुख माना, तेहि ते अजहु करही अपमाना। जो बिनु बोले जाऊ भवानी, रहे न सीलु स्नेहु न कानी। यद्यपि मित्र प्रभु पितु गुर गेहा, जाई बिनु बोले हूँ संदेहा। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। तुमने बात तो भली कही, वहां मेरे मन को भी अच्छी लगी, पर उन्होंने न्योता नहीं भेजा। Anybody know न्योता is? न्योता is an old word. न्योता. Anybody know न्योता? न्योता, न्योता. The Bihari call it न्योता. न्योता means invitation. न्योता नहीं भेजा. It is, your suggestion is good, Sati, but न्योता नहीं भेजा. They did not send न्योता. Bihari people says न्योता, न्योता. He didn't send invitation. Daksha has invited all his daughters, but because of his quarrel with me, he left out you. Once he took offense at my behavior in Brahma's court, and that is why he slighted me up to today. When you slight people, it breaks up a whole bunch of relations, just because you're arrogant, right? If Bhavani, you go there uninvited, there will be loss of all self-respect, affection, and honor. Sometimes, my friends, you want to ask yourself, do you live with dignity or not? Right? You live with dignity or not? I don't understand sometimes what goes on in this world, but this is Kali Yuga we're living in. Invitations are sometimes sent to a man in a house and not to their wife. Invitation is sent to the children and not to the parents. Invitation is sent to the wife and not to the husband and the rest of the children. What kind of world are we living in? It's happening up to today. People are shaking their heads so steady. Right? This is happening into today. How can you invite a husband for a function and not invite a wife? It doesn't work well. As a husband, if you ever fall in that situation, you should live with a little dignity, to know it's not the right thing to do, to attend, and vice versa. You should live with some dignity. If you're a child and you receive an invitation and your parents didn't, you should ask yourself questions. You're not more special than them, because these are the things that will either keep a family in harmony or in disharmony, and stick by each other. Because in the end, all we have is each other. And I'm speaking about you and your best or your better half, whatever we call them today. That's all we have. The world will one day turn on you, friends, family, and everybody. But the one that will never turn on you, hopefully, if things work well, is the one sitting next to you. So, Shivji tries to explain all of this to Sati. Jadapi mitra prabhu pitu guru geha. Listen to this teaching. Jaya binu bole hu nahi sandeha. Tadapi birod man jah koi tah gaye kalyan na hoi. One may certainly go uninvited to the house of a friend. Here's whose house you can go uninvited, and there should be no offense to it. You can go to the home of a friend, Shivji is saying. Tadapi mitra. Now, Jadapi mitra. Mitra means friend. You can go to your friend of your home uninvited. Nothing is wrong. Prabhu. You can go to the home of your master, Guru Geha. You can go to the home of your guru uninvited. Nothing is wrong. You can go to the home of your parents uninvited. nothing is wrong. You can go to the home of your Lord uninvited. Everybody who watch me invite, I ever come, by the way. I come out. But the home of the Lord you don't need an invitation to go there. When you hear Mahashivratri is happening, Ram Navami is happening, Satsang is happening for 40 days at the temple, Mina Gobika Pandit Harat na call me, text me. Please don't be silly. Come on now. This is God's home. You do not need an invitation. Right? You can go to the home of a friend. You can go to the home of your father, your guru. You can go to the home of your Lord uninvited. But it is not good. No good can result from going where someone nurses a grudge against you. No good can come out of that where someone nurses a grudge against you. Shivji is stating this here. Tadapi birodha. Na? Maan jahi koi, taha gaye kalyan na koi. There is no kalyan there. There is no blessing there. There is no peace if you go to the home of someone who holds a grudge against you. Because it's going to be a fire. With many arguments, Shiva warned her. But as fate had it willed, wisdom would not dawn upon Sati. To go, said the Lord, without being invited, in my opinion, the man has to give his opinion, is not the right thing to do. Shiva did all he could to dissuade her, Tulsidas ji is saying here. But when Sati would not be stayed, Bhagwan says, okay, you can go, but let some of my attendants go with you. Some of my attendants. And you know who his attendants are, right? Some of them get head, some of them get head, some of them get hands, some of them get foot. That's his attendants. Shivji is a very unusual Lord. One day, when we look at him, all sorts of things come to mind. He doesn't have clothes, dead people ash in his body. But let me tell you, one day in a certain cave, I'm fast-forwarding a little bit, when Parvati came in the Himalayas, Parvati was a princess. When she went to the Himalayas, she was touring the Himalayas. Shivji told her, you can go everywhere, but this cave is inaccessible to everyone, including you. The mind of Parvati Devi. She brings that stubbornness with her from Sati's birth. When Shiva was not there one day, she went into the cave. And what did she see? She saw ghosts. She saw ghosts. They couldn't find a home anywhere, not in the heaven, not on the earth, not anywhere. She saw the ghosts lingering there. And when she saw it, she became afraid and she ran. I know in the movies that son, she turns her back and runs. So who there behind you? Lord Shivji. Shivji says, Sati, Parvati, I told you not to come here. But let me explain to you what these are. The Lord is associated with the bhutas, with the ghosts, with the unwanted soul, with the Atma that cannot find peace in the heaven, on the earth, on the mountains. Nowhere can they find peace. He's associated with them. Why? Because he's trying to find a place for them. He's trying to find a place for them. The Lord cares about the living, and he cares about those who have gone as well. He says, Parvati, I've been doing penance for years and births and births and births to give place for these Atmas, but they still cannot find it. Right? When you want to be associated with Mahadev, he finds a place for everyone. Coming back to current day, he sends some of his people with him. So Sati now, Pita Vachan, she's gone, she's happy, she got what she wants, she's going now. पिता वचन जब गई भवानी दक्ष त्रास काहू न सम्मानी राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम सादर भले ही मिली एक माता भगिनी मिली बहुत मुस्काना राम सिया राम जय जय राम सिया राम जय जय राम ओ दक्षिण कछु पूछे ही कुशलाता सती ही विलो की जरे सब गाता राम सिया राम जय जय राम सिया राम जय जय राम आई देखे हूँ तब जागा, कतहु न देखी शंभु कर भागा। राम सिया राम जय जय राम, राम सिया राम
जय जय राम,
ओ सिया राम जय जय राम, सिया राम जय जय राम। पिता वचन जब गई भवानी, दक्ष त्रास काहू सनमानी। She got what she wanted. Bhagwan Shiv says, go, you can go now to the home of your parents, take my attendants with you. She's happy, she went. When she went there, what happened? Sadar bhale mile ik mata, bhagini mili bahut musukata. Her mother came, and her mothers, they're always very smiling and open. Her mother came, her mother hugged her at the door. Mother said, welcome Sati. Her sisters came, big profuse smiles. They smiled with her and they welcomed her. Come Sati, come to the yajna, come to the katha. Dakshina kachu puchehi kusalata, satahi vilok are sab gata. But Daksha, the father, I'm not saying that fathers are bad or fathers who are arrogant, but Daksha was. The mother came and welcomed her, the sisters came and welcomed her, even the animals came and they were playing with her. But Daksha did not speak to Sati. He did not come to greet her. He did not come to say welcome. And what happened? Dakshana kachupu se kusalata, Sati viloki jare sabagata. When that happened, when he saw Sati, he was burning with rage. Burning with rage. Then Sati went to look at the sacrifice. She went to look at the yajna. The yajna shala has to be there. When you're having yajna or puja at your home even, you prepare a puja bedi. And this thing is very important. Whatever I tell you, story or puja, they're always very good. When you prepare your puja bedi, it has to be done in a certain way, right? She went to look around to see what is happening. She saw Vishnu comfortable seated on a seat, Bhagwan Vishnu Narayanam. She saw Bhagwan Brahma. She saw the Devi. She saw Indra, Vayu, Agni, all of them. But she did not see even a seat prepared for who? For who? Lord Shiva. She did not see a seat prepared for Shivji. And so what happened? Sati jari dekhi tab jaga kahati nati ki sambu kar bhaga. Not a seat that is prepared to Shiva. When we do pujas, what happened? When we do puja, we have our kalash at the middle. We have Ganapati in front. Then somewhere we have Hanumanji. Then somewhere we have whoever it is. We have Shiva. In your puja bedi, even if you're not doing a Shiv puja or a Durga puja or a Surya puja, you always have a murti or a little lingam or something set aside there. Panchadev, they're called. Adityam, Gananatham cha, Devi, Keshav, Bhairava. These 5 constitute the Panchadev. Surya, Adityam, Gananatham cha, Lord Ganesha. Devi, Keshav, Bhagwan Narayan, Bhairava, Lord Shiva. No puja can be completed unless they are present. You don't have to do long puja for 16 things and something. They just need to be present there. They need to be present. But when Sati Devi did not see her husband, the seat for her husband, what happened? Sati Devi felt very insulted. Then she realized that Shivji warned her. When she thought of the insult offered to her Lord, she so burnt with rage. And the former, she burnt with rage. What is it that we say in the marriage ceremony as well? Madiya chitta nugadam cha chittam sada madagya paripalanancha pativrata dharma parayanatvam sada magyagya paripalanancha. The boy asked the Dulaha asked the Dulahin. He says, I beg you of a few things as we're getting married. First thing I beg you is to always be punctual. Right? Always be punctual. I'm asking you as well, Pativrata, please live the life of a devoted wife to me. I ask you as well, what do I ask you? To love me in old age or in health and fail health, all you know how it is. Whether I'm good looking or not, at some point love me still. And I ask you as well to never ever tolerate my name being insulted, me being insulted. If you're present there, my wife, and I am being insulted, you should defend my name or you should leave. But never be part of insulting me, because that is a sin. It's a sin. I know we don't care about sin and so, but it is something that is not good for your harmony in life. Sati Devi sees the insult of Bhagwan Shivji. And when she thought of the insult offered to her Lord, she burned with rage. She burnt with rage. And she asked her father, Father, you did have to stoop to this level, to show this level of insult to my husband. This is not insult Shivji, but it has insulted me more than him. He's not here to face this insult, but I am here. Although there are terrible agonies of various kinds in the world, none is so grievous as an insult to one's own people. This is the words of the Ramayana. Although there are so many agonies of various kinds in the world, there is none so grievous as an insult to one's own people. When you insult your own, it hits not the body, not the heart, not the head, not the mind, it hits the soul. When your own people are being insulted, your own people, your relatives, and we see this all the time. We stand there and just watch our people being insulted. I'm not saying you should cause a revolt. I'm not saying that you should start a fight. Don't ever engage in fights. But what I'm saying, do not engage in that situation. There are terrible agonies of various kinds in the world, but none is so grievous as insult to one's own people. The more Sati thought of it, the more furious she grew. And though her mother did all she could to pacify Sati Devi, oh, what happened? She felt terrible. She could not bear this insult to Shiva and would not be pacified. Then she challenged the whole assembly of guests and spoke in a very angry tone. What did she say? Sunahu sabhasad sakal muninda, kahi sun jinha sankar ninda, jo phal turat lahab sab kahu, bhali bhati pachitahu pitahu. She acknowledged her father as being a very toxic man. You know, they say toxic people, and there are toxic people. I'm not saying that everybody's a saint, but there are 5 signs that a person is toxic. There are many, but there are 5 we can break it down to. That a person is toxic, Daksha, her father. The first sign that a person is toxic: nothing you say or do is good enough for them. Nothing you say is good enough for them. No matter what you say, sweet words, sour words, bitter words, timely words, praising words is never too good for them. That's one. They comment and make fuss on the smallest flaws of your life. They comment on the smallest flaws of your life. They will never praise you for the good things in life, but they'll comment on the smallest flaws of your life. That's a sign of a toxic person. Number 3, they drag up your past. They don't care about how much good you do now, but they drag up your past and won't allow you to be different. The minute you see somebody, they can't appreciate the good that you're doing now in your life. Who cares who you were? Who cares if you're a rum boogie or a food boogie or whatever boogie you were? Who cares about that? What matters is who you are now. Right? Who you are now. Ram Bhagavan says in the Ramayana, to all, when Vibhishan approached him in Sundarkan, remember what he says? He says, a man be the slayer of 1,000,000 Brahmanas, as long as he leaves that path and he come to me, he should be considered a saint. Because he has left the path and he has come to me. Who cares about your past? A toxic person will drag up your past and will never pay attention to your current progress. Number 4, they don't care about your feeling and love to see you suffer. Our emotions matter not to them. How you feel, your head hot, you're happy, they don't care about that. One thing they care about is that they love to see you suffer. That's the 4th quality of a toxic person. Number 5, it's always about them and what they think, what they want, and what they feel. It's always about them, what they think, what they want, and what they feel. Those are the 5 signs of a toxic person. Now, you don't need to do a toxicology report on anybody to notice these behaviors. They are very present. No report will show you how toxic they are, because there can't be another one like that. Chanak Niti tells us, Takshikaya vrishandante makshikaya mukhe visham vrishchikasya visham puche sarvange durjane visham. I quoted this shloka a few days ago. I'm sure you remember it, but I'm just, reminding you. Takshakasya vrishandante. The poison of a snake is in the tooth, or in the teeth, the fangs. Makshikaya mukhe visham. The poison in an insect, makshikaya mukhe visham, is in the mouth. Vrishchikascha vrisham puche sarvange durjane visham. In a toxic person, the entire body is filled with poison. The entire body is filled with poison. Daksha was such a toxic man. The father of Sati did not care about the up. All he wanted is about himself, how he feels, how he thinks. He mattered. And when anytime we feel ever that all that matters in this world is you, then we have a bit of a problem, right? I think it's important that you matters, but understand you're living among people. You have children, you have a husband, you have family, you have friends. It matters. Their feelings matter. Their past may not be so nice, but their present is showing some changes, right? They may not say all the pleasant things. They may praise other people and not praise you, right? That's life. But the minute these things happen in our life, stay away from toxic people. They are just very distasteful and can bring your life down. If you have to be your own friend, be your own friend. But don't be the friend of a toxic person just because there's a business, need associated with it. You're going to fall. When Sati Devi identified her father as this, Sunahu Sabhava Sakala Muninda, she spoke to all of them. All of you guests, hear me. Who have reviled Shiva or heard him reviled? Right soon shall each one of you reap your reward, and my father too shall dearly rue the day. Wherever blasphemy is heard, spoken against the saints or Shiva or Lakshmi or Vishnu, there is ordained that if it be possible, the reviler's tongue should be torn out. All of you should be ashamed today to give such insults to my father. Shankar, my husband, is the universal spirit. He is the father of the world, no? Jagat Atma Mahesu Purari, Jagat Janak Sabke Hitakari, Pita Mandamati Nindatatehi, Daksha Shukra Sambhavaya Hidehi. The father of the world, the friend of all. He is the friend of all. Be it whom my besotted father vilifies. And this body of mine has sprung from Daksha's body and his blessings. Therefore, laying on my heart, Lord Shiva, who bears the moon on his forehead and the bull upon his banner, I shall immediately quit this body. I shall immediately quit this body. This is what she felt. This is how insulting it was for Sati to stand there and to watch her husband being insulted. Shivji is everyone's friend. Shivji, the Rudra Puja that we did yesterday, that, my friend, is the root of all happiness and peace and contentment in this world. And when we show such enmity to our God, now I'm sure we don't hate God in any way, but we have to bring this down to our level. When is it that I was saying? And I have to remind you things because I think we're all busy people. Hate is something, when you hate someone, what is it going to do to you? It is not going to do, if you hate, if I hate this camera, who's going to suffer? If this camera is a living person, right? I don't want to use anybody's name. But if this camera is a living person, I say, I hate you, and his name is camera. Guess what's going to happen? He's going to live his life. There's nothing happening to him. But for me to take my emotions and make it something bitter, right? That bitter, hateful emotions is in me, not in Mr. Camera. So that bitterness is only going to harm one person, and that is the person who harbors it. It is okay to dislike. I always say this. You don't have to like everybody. It's quite unhealthy, as a matter of fact, to go and try to be everybody's friend and like everybody. You got to live with expectation, all this kind of nonsense. But do not hate. Hate is an emotion that will only destroy the person who's carrying it. You're going to be bitter. You'll walk around with it. It will be expressed on your face, in your eyes, your mouth, and all these kind of things. So don't hate people. If you don't like somebody because of whatever reason, they have a grudge against you, or whatever it is, you don't have to associate yourself with them. But don't ever bring your life down to indignity. Don't ever bring your life down to indignity. Ma Sati says, for this reason now, what will I do? Asakahi Jog Agni Tanu Jara. This is called Yoga Agni. The book says it here. She did not go in a kund and burn herself. She did not take a fire and lit her body. What did she do? Asakahi Yoga Agni Tanudhara. I think we're all human beings there, and all of us get angry sometimes. When you get angry, your blood pressure goes right up, and your body temperature goes right up as well. I'm so angry, I'm burning. Some people describe it, he's burning with anger. Burning with anger. Well, guess what? Asakahi Yoga Agni Tanujara. She used her yogic power inside her, and fire came out from her body. Bhaye Sakalamuk. Ha ha kara, ha ha kara, ha ha kara. Everybody looked at the burning body of Sati and ha ha kar. All of them did not rejoice, but they were crying when they watched the body of Ma Sati burned. No, and this has been misunderstood. I want to tell you something today. Not everything that happens in India is right. Not everything. There are a lot of wrong things that go on there. This year here, at Stadium, Guyana, you all know the story. Big holy dhamaka they have there, holy show, chutney sang, alcohol, the whole works were there. And so we spoke out against it. And somebody, an intelligent being says, there's nothing wrong with that. This is how they celebrate it in India. I say, okay. So, me being who I am, I'm very passionate about these things. I said, can you please share with me, when did you go to India and see this? Where did you go to India and see this? How many people were there doing this? Was it just like isolated event? It happens. I was communicating with people on Facebook. It happens. I just said, no, you cannot just put down our religion to say this is how people celebrate Holi. They drink rum and they sport and sing chutney sang. And telling me it happens in India, you're going to say this happens. Tell me where. Tell me when. Show me a video. No. This is just how it happens. And we got back and forth. I said, if you cannot put down my culture like that. Right? You cannot pull down my culture like that. And furthermore, if this is how they do it in India, if you are so there, which you weren't, clearly, if you were there and this is how they celebrate the Holi, that doesn't make it right. There's many parts in India that they slaughter buffaloes and a whole bunch of things. Right when Narendra Modi came in, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, He banned the slaughter of animals in Guwahati. I went to a place called Guwahati. Pandit ji, aap jante Guwahati ka hai? हाँ, Guwahati, the most powerful Shakti Peeth of Ma Durga is there. That is where her reproductive organ fell, Ma Sati. Her reproductive organ fell there. It's the most powerful recharging center. Don't go if you don't have guidance. When you go there, right at the back of the temple, the Shakti Peeth, I sat there and I watched with my own eyes them sacrificing goat. They put the goat here, check them out, people are throw flower, and the stupidity of people, excuse me, think that by killing an animal you'll go to heaven. Right? It is so true that if you sacrifice a life, you'll go to heaven. But you know whose life you have to sacrifice? Guess. You have to sacrifice your life in seva. So people who do that, I tell them, you want to sacrifice a real life that makes something? Put your head there. Put your head. And let's see what's going to happen. Then they're going to run away. But not everything that happens in India is right. There's many things happening. So we do not take, and then some other intelligent being, I saw in a Bollywood movie, I saw them doing. Since when do we take guidance from Bollywood movies in our culture? Right? Many funerals I go now, I see people in Guyana, they hold a lota at the right shoulder, and at the cremation part, and they borrow a whole of water, come out and I walk around with fire, and I say, okay, very nice, it looks awesome. So I asked the Panditji, I messaged, because I'm a curious being. I said, Panditji, what dawa? What does that mean? Well, that's how they do it in India. Very good. That's how we are promoting Sanatan Dharma. What I've shown in the movies, we try to do, but we can't explain it. There is no meaning to that. I went to Florida in December. I met with a man who wrote so many puja manuals, a Panditji, posted up on Facebook and everything. I said, Panditji, let's talk about this. This thing where you put your hand, your shoulder here, walk wrong, and you're throwing water, make mess and thing. What is that? He said, never written anywhere in the puja paditi, in the shraddh paditi, nowhere is written. But we see it in the Bollywood movies. You look nice, you go wrong, water fall out, you throw them down, everybody, fall down until it looks nice, so you do them too. Right? Blind follow the blind. Not everything that happens in India is right. So we gotta get this right. Now, why I'm bringing this up? There was a culture in India that when a husband dies, the wife got to go sit on the pyre, the burning pyre of the husband. They call that Sati. The wife goes and sits on the pyre of the husband, and they call that Hinduism. Have you ever heard of that? Yeah. When the husband died, the wife got to go sit on the pyre and burn her living, precious, youthful life along with the husband. And they blame this on Hinduism, that Sati Devi cremated herself. Oh no, we got to get it right. Of course they're doing it. Of course, if you go into Guyana or any other countries in this world, you will find in certain remote areas, they do things that do not make any sense. Even in the elevated countries, even where religious countries, normal countries, whatever it is, they do things that don't make sense, remote places. It doesn't make it right. So in some part, there were ladies who were going to burn herself, they call it Hinduism. That is not Hinduism. That is not Hinduism. That is the ignorance of a few who did not have the time to spend and understand this beautiful dharma of ours, to teach practicality to our youngsters. So young people, when you hear these things, don't believe it. Don't support, if people want to tell you something good about our dharma, they should. But if anyone come and ask you, you hear them Hindu ladies supposed to go and sit down on the pyre, which modern, intelligent young woman or grown person is going to sit down on the pyre today? Come on. It doesn't even make sense. The other thing that happens in India, and everybody says Hinduism, is untouchables. Certain part of India, they're called untouchables. And because it is in India, they say this is Hinduism, the untouchables. There is nothing about untouchables in our scriptures. There is some part in the remote places where people are doing certain work, and because they're doing certain work, people don't touch them or whatever it is. But that doesn't mean it's Hinduism, right? Shiva doesn't have, he's a friend. Sati Devi says, he's a friend of all. Pita mandamati nindatatehi daksha sukrita sambhavatapadehi jagata jagadata mahesa purari jagat janaka sabake hitakari. He's a friend of everyone. The clean, the pure, the impure, he's a friend of all. Right? So Sati Devi, from the fire from her body, she burned herself. That place, by the way, is in Haridwar. They preserve it. It's the only temple you'll go and see Shivji Bhagwan with Sati in her hand. I think a lot of people went here. It's called the Daksha temple. Daksha temple. He holds Sati in her hand, and they have the fire. Fire is supposed to be burning and thing, but you walk through the place, and at least you see where the incident happened, where her body was consumed. To summarize this katha, what happened? Shivji heard about that, and Shivji Bhagwan, when he heard about that, he became so disturbed, and he took out one strand of hair, not the whole one strand of hair. I have a story to tell you about hair. You know, the hair, we can talk about this thing here for an entire 2 hours about hair. You know what's interesting about the hair? Some of us don't have to worry about that, but that's fine. Right? When you have hair, what do you do with it? Right? You comb it, you color it, style it, cut it, make sure it's nice, everything. Nobody can touch your hair because you got it in a certain way. Your hair is like your most precious commodity. Right? Comb it up nice, spray them up, whatever it is we do with our hair today. But it's so interesting that if one strand of that hair falls into the food, you say, ew. Ew. One strand, the same thing that you preserve on a comb and a collar and all kind of things, style up, brush up, whatever it is that we do with the hair. You should if you get it, no, it's a problem. But one strand of it fall in the food, that is being whatever it is. Some people go to a restaurant and think they're free food because some kind of hair fall in the food and thing. Anyways, well, the hair is such a thing. Lord Shiva took out one strand of his hair and he threw it on the ground. And who came from that strand of hair? Veerbhadra. Veerbhadra, a destructive form of Lord Shiva, came from that hair. Hair is a good thing when you have it on your head. When it's on the ground, it's not a good thing. It's I don't want to scare you too much, but the presence of a single strand of hair in a place where worship is done contaminates that place. It's a very impure thing to have. Then the people go attack the Hindus now and says, look, you got ladies tying up their head and the men can walk free without any charge with them. Right. So that is one of the reasons why women put a hair orni on their head, or orni or whatever they put these days on their head, because many reasons, honor and that kind of thing. And that's why the men don't, because they usually don't have long hairs, but today some boys choose to have long hairs and that's fine. But that's what it is, the reason behind it. Hair is a very, toxic thing sometimes, but it's very beautiful. And it's for men who don't have hair too, don't feel too bad. It's the style of the day. The boys are shaving out their hair and they're growing their beard. Right? Tonight is a bit relaxing night. I went to a certain store, me and Bowen went, and Bhumika were at the gym, so I dropped by to buy hair. I have not gone to buy hair oil in a long time, gel or whatever. I don't even know what they have. I use the local stuff like coconut oil and thing. So I just stopped by and but I couldn't see any hair gel anywhere. So I stopped the girl in the store and I says, I see a lot of beard oil here, beard oil and beard gel, and so where the hair oil? The girl says, sir, I don't know if you noticed, but the boys will shave out their hair and they're growing their beard now. So we bring beard oil. There's all kind of beard oil. There's beard gel. There's beard oil. There's grooming oil, all for the beard. So they get rid of all the hair oil and they bring beard oil now. I'm not saying that's wrong, but times are changing. Priorities have changed, and boys have different priorities too. So you gotta respect that. He took the hair. Veerbhadra appeared. Veerbhadra went and destroyed the whole sacrifice. He destroyed everybody who was there. All the gods that flew away, but Daksha's attendants, he destroyed them. Shivji came. And when Shivji Bhagwan came, what happened? Right away, the head of Daksha, the father of Sati, severed the head of Daksha. He fell on the ground. Daksha Rani came, the wife of Daksha came and begged Shiva. Well, my husband, this and that. Lord Shiva says, okay, I can give him back his head, but I will give him a head that he deserves, not the one that he was carrying. And the Lord, says, what he's doing? He was all about himself. Daksha was about himself. Remember the toxic guy? Me means me, right? Me means me. Me who, I am this, mera, and all this kind of. So all his life he said, me, me. So Bhagwan Shiv took a head of a goat. He took the head of a goat and he transplanted it. He gave it on Daksha. He said, that suit you. Why? Because now you can meh all you want. You can meh all you want. Your life is about you. So you meh all you want. Right? The Lord does transplant as well. Shivji Bhagwan, he transplant the head transplant. You don't try that though, because that doesn't work for you. So he gave Daksha the head, and he became, from that day he became a Shiva Bhakta. He prayed to Shiva, Daksha, yeah? If you look into, there's a beautiful, it's on DVD, but I don't know if you have DVD players now. What's it called? We had it, the show of Shiva. Devo Ki Dev Mahadev. Devo Ki Dev Mahadev. If you have that DVD set, you should watch it with the children. I agree with how they filmed it. There are a lot of things they filmed I don't agree with. But Devo Ki Dev Mahadev, at least the first series, you should watch. It's very, very beautiful, and it's according to the books. Daksha had the head, and then he became the devotee of Shiva. Prem se bolo Mahapati Mahadeva ki jai. We'll finish here tonight. But the message we're taking tonight, my friends, I did not sing a lot tonight because I wanted to have a discussion with you. The message we take here tonight is that Mahadev Bhagwan is the friend of all. And if you're the friend of all, and that's a godly quality. Now, it does not mean that everybody is his friend, but at least he is the friend of all. Become friendly. Don't be a toxic person. It is not about yourself alone. Do not look about people's past and judge them. Appreciate what they're doing presently. That's very important in your life. Arrogance is something that is present in every being. The Ramayana just tells us this, that there is not a person, a creature on this earth who has gained power and did not become arrogant. Be careful of it at least. That is where the quality of consciousness comes in. You have to be conscious because these qualities will pop up and you have to step back and say, no, arrogance, I have a little bit, but I have to control it. Take away the arrogance from you, or at least be conscious of it. Bole Mahapati Mahadeva ki Namah Parvati Pataye Har 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 Mahadeva Shambhu. Jai Bhola Bhandari Shiv Har. Jai Bhola Bhandari. I want to thank Kishar and Samantha again for being our shrotas this evening. Young married couple doing puja is a very good sign of forward thinking and a very good sign of devotion. I don't have much advice to offer. I'm very young still in marriage. Only my 24th year, this year, August 26th. But, be prayerful. That's all. Any couple that prays, there's a lot of advice other people can give you, believe in yourself and all this kind of thing. But as long as you stay prayerful, everything will be fine. Let your life be a harmony. When you gotta go, tell she. You gotta go, tell he. All problem done. Don't do anything without your wife knowing. Don't do anything with your husband knowing. Simple communication. No fancy, the secret of happy marriage and all this kind of thing. There is no happy marriage. There is only happy people in a marriage. So if we all can be happy and prayerful, all will be well. God bless you both, and thanks for being our shota tonight. जय भोला भंडारी शिव हर, जय भोला भंडारी, जय भोला भंडारी शिव हर, जय भोला भंडारी, जय कैलाशपति शिव शंकर, जय कैलाशपति शिव शंकर, सब जग के हितकारी, जय भोला भंडारी शिव हर, जय भोला भंडारी। निश दिन तेरा ध्यान करे हम, सिमरे मंत्र तिहारा, हे शिव शंकर मंत्र जगावो, होवे घट उजियारा, नमामि शंकर नमामि शंकर, नमामि शंकर नमामि शंकर, कृपा करो त्रिपुरारी, जय भोला भंडारी शिव हर, जय भोला भंडारी। शंखनाद से शब्द जगा कर, स्वर संगीत बढ़ाया, युग युग से ये सृष्टि नाते, ऐसा डमरू बजाया, तेरी याद भुला के जग में, तेरी याद भुला के जग में, दुख पावे संसारी, जय भोला भंडारी शिव हर, जय भोला भंडारी। तीनों ताप हरण कर लेता, ये त्रिशूल तिहारा, तेरा नाम जपे से जग में, मिलता मुक्ति द्वारा, महादेव पर ब्रह्म विधाता, महादेव पर ब्रह्म विधाता, आये शरण तिहारी, जय भोला भंडारी शिव हर, जय भोला भंडारी। ओ जय कैलाशपति शिव शंकर, जय कैलाशपति शिव शंकर, सब जग के हितकारी, जय भोला भंडारी शिव हर, ओ जय भोला भंडारी। शिव भगवान की। Those who are prasad, please come up now to offer your prasad. Or if you just want to come take the darshan of the Lord, do that. We can have Anaya and Arjun sing at the moment.
शिव का नाम पुकारे, मैंने शिव से लगा ली लगन, लगन मैंने शिव से लगा ली लगन। मेरे मन वीरा की तारे, हर शिव का नाम पुकारे, मैंने शिव से लगा ली लगन, लगन मैंने शिव से लगा ली लगन। जप बोले का नाम प्रेम से सब शान, जप बोले का नाम प्रेम से सब शान, शिव की भक्ति में होके मगन, शिव की भक्ति में होके मगन। हाँ मेरे मंदिरा की तार, अर्ध शिव का नाम पुकार, मैंने शिव से लगा ली लगन, लगन मैंने शिव से लगा ली लगन। पूरे जग के छूतर बंधन, पूरे जग के छूतर बंधन, शिव की भक्ति में रोगा जीवन, शिव की भक्ति में रोगा जीवन। हाँ मेरे मन वीरा की तारी, हर पर शिव का नाम पुकारी, मैंने शिव से लगा ली लगन, लगन मैंने शिव से लगा ली लगन। मेरे मन वीरा की तारी, हर पर शिव का नाम पुकार, मैंने शिव से लगा ली लगन, लगन मैंने शिव से लगा ली लगन, मैंने शिव से लगा ली लगन, लगन मैंने शिव से लगा ली लगन।
शंकर तेरे जटा में भर ज्ञान धरे, शंकर तेरे जटा में भर ज्ञान धरे, उड़ते हैं बार बार, उड़ते हैं बार बार, बारी के तरंग, बारी के तरंग। शंकर तेरे जटा में भर ज्ञान धरे, मुंड माल है कानों में है कुंडल, कानों में है कुंडल, कानों में है कुंडल। गले मुंड माल है कानों में है कुंडल, काहे को कंद मूल, काहे को कंद मूल, पीने को भंग, पीने को भंग। शंकर तेरे जटा में भर ज्ञान धरे, शंकर तेरे जटा में भर ज्ञान धरे, उड़ते हैं बार बार, उड़ते हैं बार बार, बारी के तरंग, बारी के तरंग। शंकर तेरे कमर कसी विषराज पे चरे, विषराज पे चरे, विषराज पे चरे। दुरंग चाल कमर कसी विषराज पे चढ़े, मस्तक में चंद्र कला, मस्तक में चंद्र कला, विभूति अंग अंग है, विभूति अंग अंग है। शंकर तेरे जटा में भरे ज्ञान धरे, उड़ते हैं बार बार, उड़ते हैं बार बार, वारी के तरंग है, वारी के तरंग है। शंकर तेरे डमरू त्रिशूल हाथ, गिरिजा है संग में, गिरिजा है संग में, गिरिजा है संग में। डमरू त्रिशूल हाथ, गिरिजा है संग में, त्रिनेत्र भुजाचार, त्रिनेत्र भुजाचार, कांत नील रंग है, कांत नील रंग है। शंकर तेरे जटा में भरे ज्ञान धरे, शंकर तेरे जटा में भरे ज्ञान धरे, उड़ते हैं बार बार, उड़ते हैं बार बार, वारी के तरंग है, वारी के तरंग है। शंकर तेरे में निवास, गाना साथ में रहे, गाना साथ में रहे, गाना साथ में रहे। कैलाश में निवास, गाना साथ में रहे, ब्रह्मनंद के शिव के दास, ब्रह्मनंद के शिव के दास, सदा ही संग संग है, सदा ही संग संग है। शंकर तेरे जटा में भरे ज्ञान धरे, शंकर तेरे जटा में भरे ज्ञान धरे, उड़ते हैं बार बार, उड़ते हैं बार बार, वारी के तरंग है, वारी के तरंग है। शंकर तेरे जटा में भरे ज्ञान धरे, उड़ते हैं बार बार, उड़ते हैं बार बार, वारी के तरंग है, वारी के तरंग है। शंकर तेरे जटा में भरे ज्ञान धरे, शंकर तेरे जटा में भरे ज्ञान धरे, शंकर तेरे जटा में भरे ज्ञान धरे।
Before we do our tea, a quick reminder, we're here every evening. We invite you all to come out, and those who want to sponsor an evening or do puja an evening, please contact us. Everything is online. You can just click the link there online for Shravan, and you'll be linked up with everything. A couple of quick announcements. The first Saturday of the month in August, we're doing our Nagraha Puja here, so this is August 6th. And because it is the month of Shravan, we are going to do something a little special that morning. The flow is usually Kalash Puja, Ganesh Puja, Nagraha Puja, Shivji Puja, Hanuman Puja. A lot of puja, but it's very, very nice. So for that morning, we'll do the Shiva Sahasranam on the 6th. Shiva Sahasranam is very special to Shiva, as is the Rudram. So we'll do it that morning on August 6th. So please come on out to do puja. It's going to be a little early, 6:30 in the morning, because I have a 10 o'clock appointment. So let's make that happen on August 6th. And we'll keep you posted on all our activities we have in mind. Hope you can be part of them. God bless all of you. Let's stand, please. Yani kani cha papani janmantar kritani cha tani sarvani nashyantu pradakshinam pade pade.
Om Jai Shiva Omkara Swami Hare Shiva Omkara Jai Shiva Omkara शिव ओंकारा ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिव ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिव अर्धांगी धारा ओम जय शिव ओंकारा ओम हर 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 महादेव एकानन चतुरानन पंचानन राजे स्वामी पंचानन राजे हंसासन गरुडासन हंसासन गरुडासन विश्ववाहन साजे ओम जय शिव ओंकारा ओम हर 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 महादेव दो भुज चार चतुर भुज दस भुज ते सोहे स्वामी दस भुज ते सोहे तीनों रूप निरखता तीनों रूप निरखता त्रिभुवन जन मोहे ओम जय शिव ओंकारा ओम हर 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 महादेव अक्षमाला वनमाला मुंदमाला धारी स्वामी मुंदमाला धारी चंदन मृग मद सोहे चंदन मृग मद सोहे बाले शशिधारी ओम जय शिव ओंकारा ओम हर 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 महादेव श्वेतांबर पीतांबर बागंबर अंगे स्वामी बागंबर अंगे सनकादिक ब्रह्मादिक सनकादिक ब्रह्मादिक भूतादिक संगे ओम जय शिव ओंकारा ओम हर 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 महादेव कर में श्रेष्ठ कमंडल चक्र त्रिशूल धरता स्वामी चक्र त्रिशूल धरता जग करता जग हरता जग करता जग हरता जग पालन करता ओम जय शिव ओंकारा ओम हर 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 महादेव ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिव जानत अविवेका स्वामी जानत अविवेका प्रणवाक्षर के मध्य प्रणवाक्षर के मध्य ये तीनों एका ओम जय शिव ओंकारा ओम हर 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 महादेव त्रिगुण स्वामी जी की आरती जो कोई नर गावे स्वामी जो कोई नर गावे कहत शिवानंद स्वामी कहत शिवानंद स्वामी मन वांछित फल पावे ओम जय शिव ओंकारा
कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय। ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम। बोले गणपति भगवान की, पवन सुत हनुमान की, सियावर रामचंद्र की, गुरु महाराज की, नवग्रह देवता की, लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की, राधा कृष्ण भगवान की, गंगा मैया की, यमुना मैया की, नव दुर्गा माता की, श्री सूर्य नारायण स्वामी की, सत्यनारायण स्वामी की, सरस्वती माता की, महालक्ष्मी माता की, जयकारा शेर वालिदा भोल साचे दरबार की। नमः पार्वती पतये हर 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 महादेव। शंभो सत्य सनातन धर्म की। सबको जय जय सीताराम। I would like to thank everybody who brought bananas this evening and who contributed to the banana alankar. We would like to thank you so much because you took interest in doing this for us, and may Bhagwan bless all of you for doing that. And there are some people who contributed as well. God bless all of you. Please stay back. Banana, everybody have to take banana home tonight. This is blessed banana. And nutritious banana because Shivji Bhagwan bless it for you. So stay put, don't go away. Just give us 1 minute silent to do this thing.